All right, guys, so we're in the process of putting on our B&R intake spacer. That's our intake. This is our B&R spacer. And it's going to mount like so behind the intake. So the problem with this plastic intake piece right here, this is how it's going to go, is that these screws, let me set this carefully out the way over here. And you do have to undo your negative battery cable. But here's the problem. These screws. Now, B&R does send you screws, replacement screws, but it's getting these screws out that are the problem. Okay? So I had to hammer this one out. I'm probably going to have to do this one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws all together. Okay, your shorter screws, the two shorter ones, go here when you put your new intake on, okay? And over here. The two longer ones, the three longer ones are going to go 1, 2, 3 in the back there. Okay, so you get 5 screws with your B&R spacer kit, but the two screws are going to go, two shorter screws are going to go on the bottom over here and over here, and then also the 3 longer screws are going to go 1, 2, 3. Now upon taking this out, you should examine your current gasket. It looks pretty good other than it's just a little dirty. Also make sure you look down into your throttle body. Now I also have B&R's throttle body spacer on, which I've been loving so far. Okay, loving this B&R spacer so far. So I just left mine on. I just didn't take all that off. It's not really that heavy. You can mount it with one hand and screw it back in. That's what I did. And then you got your heat shield here. So I'm going to try to work on knocking these screws out so that I can put my B&R screws in. So you're really not going to need those spacers. I was kind of worried, am I going to need these spacers that came with the original? But I don't think I'm going to need them because it's going to lock tight into the top end of the motor anyway. Okay, so this spacer's looking good. I can't wait to see how this is going to perform along with my intake, my throttle body spacer. So I got the throttle body from B&R, and I got the B&R intake spacer, Team B&R. So I was able to get them all out, and I can put my B&R replacement screws in. They do come with spacers, but these are internal spacers, and so the reason why the screw doesn't come out of this thing is because it's pressured in. It's got a pressure point right there if you look down in it. Okay, I just took a hammer and a screwdriver and just popped them right out, and they go right back in if I ever need them. But while I'm at it, I'm going to clean this intake out. But these here I will keep emergency purposes, and then we do have our spacer replacements. Now they don't have spacers that come with them, but what we can do, since they do come with spacers that go here on underneath, that should hold them in place. So what happens is, guys, this is going to seat just like this. Let me make sure I put this on correctly. That's how it would sit. These screws are going to come up through the bottom half, just like that, and tighten up. That's why they're longer. Okay. The other part is not dropping your bolts down into the engine bay. All right. So when you put your intake spacer on, this is our B&R. I like how they got their logo in there. But anyway, what you want to do, your original gasket from your intake, that would bolt up against the motor. But when you put your gasket on, this is how you know if you got the right one, because the configuration should be the same as that. But this gasket on the BNR space, on the BNR throttle intake spacer, is going to go up against the engine block. So when this goes on, okay, it's going to go on back there. And that spacer needs to be up against the motor. Okay, same way with the throttle body. Okay, so I'm just taking my time cleaning it out. It's not baking hot out here today. I couldn't do this yesterday. The sun was killing my back. But I just want to make sure I'm doing this, taking my time. You might want to also examine your intake spacer, your intake spacer on the brain, your intake gasket. Make sure there's no breaks and no pops in it. It looks good. Okay, it doesn't look too bad. But eventually, just by looking at it, I probably will put a new one on here. But it don't look too bad. Okay. So we're about to reassemble and put the spacer on, intake spacer attached. All right, guys, so we got the BNR intake spacer installed along with their throttle body. I had about a week now. So that throttle body along with this intake spacer should be amazing. The throttle body spacer alone from BNR made my blow off and my wastegate sound louder. My next move to get from them is their diverter valve, which is right up under here, which attaches to my OEM blow off or diverter valve, which is going to make everything boost up a lot quicker. So we're going to see what this sounds like. I'm going to take it around the block for a spin.